Union Home Minister Amit Shah was today in Chhattisgarh, and he addressed reform Maoists, essentially those Naxals who have surrendered, and he spoke to those people who had left violence to join the national mainstream in Chhattisgarh, Jagdalpur. Let's listen into what Union Home Minister Amit Shah had to tell those surrendered Naxals.
आप लोग मानते होंगे कि सरेंडर कर आपको बहुत अच्छा लगा, आपको आनंद हुआ। शायद कुछ लोग ऐसा मानते होंगे कि आपसे ज्यादा आनंद आपके परिवारजनों को, आपके माता पिता को हुआ। मगर मैं एक बात बताता हूं, आज आपके साथ बैठकर सबसे ज्यादा आनंद किसी को हुआ है तो मुझे हुआ है, और मन में संतोष की भावना है। 2019 में मोदी जी ने मुझे इस देश का गृह मंत्री बनने का मौका दिया। उस वक्त कश्मीर, उत्तर पूर्व नॉर्थ ईस्ट और हमारा नक्सलवादी क्षेत्र, ये तीनों जगह पे हमारे ही युवा हथियार लेकर अपना जीवन भी बर्बाद करते थे, हिंसा भी करते थे और पूरे क्षेत्र को विकास से दूर रखते थे। उस वक्त हमने तय किया था कि जो हथियार छोड़ना चाहता है उसको हथियार छोड़ने का मौका दिया जाए। 19 से 24 तक अब तक सिर्फ नॉर्थ ईस्ट में अब तक 9,000 लोग हथियार छोड़कर सरेंडर हुए। 9,000 लोग। आप कल्पना कर सकते हैं कितना बड़ा देश के विकास में कितने युवा, आज बोडोलैंड के युवा यहां बैठे हैं। आज कोई कोऑपरेटिव कर रहा है, कोई डेयरी कर रहा है, कोई नौकरी कर रहा है। छत्तीसगढ़, आंध्र प्रदेश, महाराष्ट्र, इसी प्रकार से नक्सल प्रभावित क्षेत्र में भी ढेर सारे युवाओं ने सरेंडर किया है। और अब भारत सरकार सरेंडर युवाओं का और सरेंडर लोगों के जीवन के कल्याण के लिए और इसके साथ साथ जो नक्सलवाद या हिंसा से पीड़ित लोग थे, किसी का पैर उड़ गया, किसी का हाथ कट गया, किसी की आंख चली गई, कोई मर ही गया, उनके कल्याण की समग्रता से योजना भी बना रही है। 15,000 मकान भारत सरकार अपने खर्चे से इन नक्सल प्रभावित क्षेत्र में बना रहा है। और मेरे पास सहकारिता मंत्रालय भी है। एनडीडीबी को मैंने जिम्मेदारी दी है कि सारे नक्सल प्रभावित क्षेत्र जो नक्सल से मुक्त भी हो गए हैं, वहां पर हर परिवार को एक गाय या भैंस देकर डेयरी कोऑपरेटिव बनाने की हम शुरुआत करेंगे, जिसमें कम से कम 15 से 20 हजार का इनकम एक महीने का होगा। इस प्रकार का पूरा हम यंत्रणा बना रहे हैं।
Well, that's a big up for India's overall security architecture. Union Home Minister Amit Shah engaging with the surrendered Naxals and giving them an idea of how the measures to get them into national mainstream are being put in place. Joining us for our conversation, security expert NND Dubey. He's retired DIG of the NIA, National Investigation Agency, as also someone who has been with the Border Security Force. Very good evening to you, Mr. Dubey. You heard Union Home Minister Amit Shah there talking to surrendered Naxals. He said 9,000 of those militants, extremists and terrorists from the left-wing affected areas to Jammu and Kashmir to the northeast have surrendered in the last 10 years. What has the government done to get these people, these extremists, to surrender violence?
Actually, the approach of the Union of India is multifaceted, and the schemes launched by the government is one of the great incentive to the youth and the young blood who have been wrongly lured by these Naxals to join the armed militancy, armed terrorism. So the scheme is very interesting, and the recent scheme, that is a Niyad Nela Nar. I mean, that is the scheme launched by the central government, New Delhi, to take care of the youth and to take their participation directly in the developmental role, in self-employment, leaving arms and joining the mainstream, giving employment. I mean, what you have just heard about the statement of the Honorable Union Home Minister, he has himself mentioned about many schemes which are launched to engage the young blood, the youth of the Naxal affected areas, so that they are not wrongly taken into some wrong direction. That is a very great area, because participation of the local people, participation of the young blood is going to turn the tide in the entire Naxal area. Because since last 2.5 years, you have seen the Naxals are on back foot. And since last 6 months, I mean, significant number of fighting Naxals have been killed by the security forces. So this is something very big achievement by the security forces, and they have established their strong foothold in the Naxal areas. They have compelled these Naxals to take their shelter right inside the deep Sukma jungle, and many active areas have been liberated. So we must compliment the central government and its deployment, and also many welfare schemes launched by the government to take the young blood in the mainstream.
Right. Mr. Dubey, before I let you go, one more question. The Union Home Minister also said there today that all Naxalism would be finished by 2026. What you think gives the Union Minister the confidence to make that kind of announcement about a deadline?
I tell you, I am just reading with the indications. See the notorious Dantewada. Today, 95% Dantewada is free from Naxalism. Notorious Narayanpur, almost 90-95% of Narayanpur is free from these, violent activities. And the third most important area was Kanker. It's also hardly 10% Naxal effect is left over there. Now the only area of concern is left is some part of Sukma and Bijapur. And out of these two places, only few tehsils which are having some remnants of Naxals fighting there. So the way central government's scheme and forces establishing their foothold right inside Sukma jungle, Abuj Mad. I mean, you can mention about the very tragic and landmark operations happened in this area. So the way these forces are getting success in these areas, I don't have any doubt about the statement of Union Home Minister claiming that by 2026, we will be in a position to say, yes, there is no Naxalism. Although the ideological things will remain, but their fighting people will definitely be dying down. And I'm very sure about the statement what has been made by Union Home Minister right today, addressing his rally in the Chhattisgarh area.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Dubey, with that perspective, a very important one, and makes you feel good about the national security situation, internal security front actually improving with that development.